Hello everybody, and welcome to another live episode of our immigration show, where we are trying to come out live at least once a week to keep you posted with the recent immigration updates, in addition to our weekly videos. And so, any of you who is joining us, welcome. I will give you a quick updates about a few of the main points that you're asking. We had a lot of questions about USCIS furloughs, how it's going to impact your case, with a lot of questions about other things that are happening with USCIS, with reopening of the offices, and I will update you on some recent policy with flexibility, with responding to RFEs and all that. So any of you who's joining, welcome, and I'll see you in a few seconds. We'll talk about that and more, and I'll try to answer a few of your questions as well. Welcome. So any of you who is joining us live, let me know where you're from, your names, and I welcome you to our live show. We get so many comments and so many questions, and we try to answer all of it. So, I first of all wanted to thank you, for supporting our channel. If you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe. We release videos every single week. And, this channel wouldn't be possible without you coming here every week, tuning in, waiting for updates. And I'm here for you guys. So I wanted to personally thank you for supporting our channel, for subscribing, for sharing. Also make sure you like the videos. This way YouTube can share the video with other viewers who are interested in the same information as you do. So, let's talk about the USCIS furloughs. First of all, we're getting a lot of questions, and people are super concerned about that. So it's, they issued notices. Almost 15,000 USCIS employees are getting the furlough notices. And in fact, I have a contact at a local USCIS office here of an employee that was literally recently, he wasn't fired, but he essentially quit. And I had off-the-record conversation with him about a few of the things that happened in the past few weeks at USCIS. And, he mentioned that there's definitely been a lot of chaos. They're getting a lot of internal emails that are inconsistent with respect to what they're going to be doing, what they're supposed to be doing, offices reopening and then closing. I don't know if you noticed, they announced on their website last week that they're starting, certain offices are opening, and then at some point, all offices were closed. That was on the website. So things like that are happening on the outside to the public. Imagine what's happening behind the scenes. He was telling me about memos that are coming in, and then the next day they were canceled. Officers being shuffled between different offices, moving. And so all these things are going to create, obviously, delays in cases. Because imagine if somebody's working on a case in a service center, then they're moving him to another service center. A new officer has to take over. More officers are getting more cases, overwhelmed with their capacity. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting to see what's going to happen and how this is going to all play out. So obviously, we'll keep you posted on that. I think, it's they even announced on the website, and I'll show you this notice that they said it came from the deputy director, specifically about the furloughs. And they said that, that was about a few days ago, that they need to furlough at least 13,000 of their staff members. And then they obviously requesting Congress to help them. But the most important thing about this is that they're going to see, they're saying specifically that these 13,000 staff members, which will be furloughed, will have a tremendous negative impact on our mission, administering our nation's lawful immigration system, safeguarding its integrity and protecting American people. And they urge Congress to, give them funding. So, they specifically put this notice out there because you can imagine what is going to happen when this furlough notice is actually going to come into effect, and the people are going to start not going to be working and processing your cases. A lot of people are asking me, what is the reason for this? Like, why is it happening? So if you remember, about a year ago, even 2 years ago, they started to implement a lot of policies that were negative. So a lot of RFEs were issued, a lot of denials, H-1B denials in the past year, has been unprecedented. A lot of requests for evidence. And so that has created a pattern from applicants to not to apply. So there's been definitely a decrease in a lot of applications. At the same time, the USCIS hired thousands of people, thousands of agents to investigate cases. They have FDNS, and many of you send me messages about audits, about with marriage cases, with business cases. I mean, we had I can tell you from our office, in the past year, we had more cases that were sent to second interviews, home visits, things like that we had to audits. Companies were rated by USCIS I-9 audits. So all these things obviously required them staffing, but that didn't bring them money, right? That didn't bring them revenue. That was more actually their offensive on applications. So obviously, if people are not applying and they have more and more staff that is doing work that who knows if it's even needed, that has created that deficit that obviously resulted in this crisis. So I think that as a result of that, we're definitely going to see more delays. We're going to see more issues with applications. And I just can't imagine how they're going to be able to process applications with less people, right? So let's talk about a little bit of the updates that came this week. USCIS announced that they're going to be issuing more flexibility in cases that are requests for evidence, intent to deny, intent to revoke, applications for requests for evidence in citizenship and marriage cases. Those things are going to be given more flexibility. If your notices were received between March 1st all the way through September 1st, so if you have a deadline which is September 1st, or cases that were issued in the next coming months and before, they're going to add 60 more days for you to be able to respond and collect evidence. And obviously it was necessary during the COVID lockdown because courts were closed. And even now, quite a few agencies are not open for you to be able to receive birth certificates. We have a lot of, if you notice, if you guys are going through adjustment of status cases based on employment, there's been an increase in RFEs requesting birth certificates, requesting divorce decrees that are certified. So those things are sometimes a little bit hard to get, especially if you're trying to get it from a country where there's a lockdown, or if your embassy is closed, or if it's a court that is not issuing those. So they've added 60 more days. So remember, if you get an RFE or a request for evidence, or if you file a motion to reopen, you have 60 more days now to respond. And this is something that was announced just a few days ago. Now, people are asking with respect to what's going to happen for cases that are now inside the U.S. So I see quite a lot of questions here about the DV lottery, people that are inside the U.S. And once again, this is, I'm working on a video right now to kind of give options for DV lottery applicants. Some of it will involve also litigation, so hopefully we can release it in the next few days. But remember, you still have a chance. If you're inside the U.S., you can file an inquiry. You can, request the case to be, to get some information about your case. Cases that are inside the U.S. are not impacted by this proclamation, because I know a lot of you are concerned about that. And again, in this video, I just wanted to give an update about what's happening right now inside the U.S., USCIS new flexibility policy, and also the impact of furloughs, because everybody's super concerned about, how these furloughs are going to impact your case. And again, from what I see in my office and what I think is going to happen, it's definitely more delays. It's going to result in, not getting receipts on time, and maybe some of the services like biometrics are going to be either canceled completely or delayed significantly. So definitely there's going to be more delays in cases. And of course, people that are outside of the US, are definitely going to be impacted by, not only by this proclamation that is prohibiting certain people from coming into the U.S., but also, people that already have visas and are trying to, to board flights. We see a lot of delays in that respect. And definitely I'm going to make either a live video or a separate video specifically talking about options for people that are stuck overseas and they're not able to come back in the U.S. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take a few questions from people that are here on the live, and let me answer a few questions with regard to USCIS or anything else that you want me to so let's see. There's a lot of questions. I will try to answer as much as I can. And those of you that are not going to get a response, make sure you leave a comment at the end of this video, so we'll be able to come back to the video and answer. And once again, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And we are here releasing videos every single week. So Roshan is saying, I am waiting impatiently for the new interview date. So Roshan, again, those of you that are inside the US, you should be getting your interview dates soon, right? So as USCIS offices are reopening, even with their furloughs, they should be releasing interview dates. In fact, in our office, we have already received a few interview reschedules for adjustment of status inside the US, a few of them in the San Diego office, and we have a few of them on the East Coast. So rescheduled interviews are slowly starting to come out. I know a lot of you are anxious. I know we have a lot of people that are worried because they're DV lottery beneficiaries. In fact, in the past 3 days, I had at least 15 emails from DV lottery winners who are in the US who are very concerned about what they can do. So I think those notices are coming out. So that's a good question. Thank you, Bruno, Roshan, Alfonso, Natalie, Douglas. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate all you guys. Let's see. Vikram. Vikram is asking any impact on PERM filings. So again, PERM filings are filed with the U.S. Department of Labor. Those are currently not impacted as long as you're in the U.S. Definitely some delays, but nothing more than that. So Abigail is asking, when the embassy going to reopen? So again, embassies are starting to reopen. I'm going to make another separate video, an update on embassy reopening, hopefully next week. But as far as I know right now, certain embassies are reopening depending on the country you're at, depending if there's COVID or not, lockdown in those countries. And so quite a few embassies are reopening, and we'll post a video update on which ones are open and which ones are not. Mimi is asking, is it possible to request an emergency appointment? I'm the petitioner for K1. My case is already at the embassy. Absolutely. So embassies are taking emergency appointments. In fact, we had 2 emergency appointments that were processed in Mexico City. We had one in London, and we had another one at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. And those were all emergency appointments in the past 30 days. So yes, if you have a good emergency case, you can still do it. Elvis is asking information on Wawa cases. Mine is almost 19 months old. So again, remember that those cases that are inside the United States, those are Wawa cases in the US, they continue to be processed, right? So your case is now at 19 months. Definitely expect even more delays with the furloughs coming in. I'm really worried about our Wawa cases because they need the support as soon as possible. Luke is asking, AC process centers opening on 20th in his area. Should I expect to get my biometric done soon? So again, citizenship are definitely getting priority, by the way. So those of you that go through oath ceremonies or further processing are definitely getting priority. So I think you should be seeing further activity on your case sooner, as opposed to a regular adjustment of status case, which I think is going to be much more delayed. Let's see, we have Rose here. Any information on replies on RFEs? Is it still 60-day wait or has it increased? So again, Rose, the update that I provided today is saying that if you need more time on the RFE, you do have more time on the RFE. With respect to the response time, I definitely see more than 60 days wait time. Probably is going to take closer to 90 or more. But let's see what happens with the furloughs. But definitely the wait times are a concern. Dharma said, I got an RFE, a medical 2 months back, and I posted USCIS received it June 2nd. any comments on this about timeline for an interview? Okay, so with respect to this, some of our cases who receive only medicals are receiving interview waivers, and I've done quite a few videos on that, and maybe I should do a separate one just on interview waivers, but we still continue to get those interview waivers today. If you only receive the medical, I would imagine that probably you're looking at 90 days for you to get an interview right now, at least 90 days, but we'll see what happens with the furloughs, and who knows, if it's only a medical, maybe you're also going to have an interview waiver, because I think in our office, at least 40% of those who got only medicals received interview waivers as well. So I definitely would stay optimistic on that. Thank you, Marianne, for the kind words. I appreciate it, you guys from London. Once again, let me know where you're from. Give us those likes, like the video. And again, if you're here for the first time, subscribe to our channel. And also, make sure to join our private Facebook group where we post information sooner than here. We have a lot of people that are engaging, sharing information, timelines about their interviews and stuff like that. So make sure you join our Facebook group as well. So once again, guys, this was just a quick update. USCIS Furloughs, flexibility policy. I answered a few questions. Our next video that's going to come is going to be an update on DV lottery, hopefully in the next couple of days. And I may go live again in the next few days to give you some even more updates. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. You are the best. You are the reason why we have this amazing community here on YouTube. And keep posting your comments, and I'll see you in our next video. You guys definitely made my day.